right, these are Texas Success Initiative Assessment Day 2 notes. So let's see what can we do about these. Kenzie bought 3 slices of cheese pizzas and 2 sodas for $10.50. Nicole bought 1 slice of cheese pizza and 6 sodas for $11.50. How much would an order of 2 slices of pizza and 3 soda cost? So I need the total combined cost of 2 slices and then 3 sodas. I have 2 equations. I have 2 variables. That means I have system of equations. I am going to decide which variable is which. So pizzas came first, so this could be x, and soda came later, so it would be y. So my 2 equations would be 3x plus 2y equals 1050. That's my equation 1 for Kinsey. My equation number 2 for Nicole is she bought 1 slice of pizza, so 1x, and then 6 sodas, and then she paid $11.50. This is a lot of plugins, so I don't like to do work like that. Your choice, but I don't do work like this. It's difficult to plug in. All right, so the method that you actually can use is elimination. Because you can't use graphing and you're only allowed a basic calculator, so some addition, subtraction, multiplication, division only. So the process you would use is elimination. And for that, I'm going to eliminate, first, I think it's easier to eliminate the x. So eliminate x, how? By multiplying second equation by a -3. Now you're thinking, why -3? Because if I multiply this equation by a -3, this becomes -3x, and this would be a 0. So that's the only reason that I would multiply that equation by a -3. So let's do that. So 1x plus 6y equals 1150. Multiply this equation by a -3. So -3x, -18y, and this would be, I don't know, I have to multiply. It should be 34.50, but let's see. Yes, 34.50. So it should be -34.50. So this is your new equation 3. Now copy back your equation 1 underneath, which is 3x plus 2y equals 1050. And simply add these two up. So don't do anything, just do whatever you see. -3x plus 3x is cancelled to be a 0. That's why I was using elimination, because it's a 0 now. -18y plus 2y is -16y. Equals 1050 is 34 minus 0 is a 4, and then 3 minus 1 is a 2, so -24. Next step should be divided by -16. That would give me a value of y. So y is equals to, let me see what it would be. $1.5. So y was soda. So each soda costs 1.5. So 3 sodas would be multiplied by 3. 4.5. So 3 sodas is 4.5. Now I have the sodas. I don't know what does a pizza cost. So pizza, I can use the second equation in order to find the cost of pizza, because it should be x plus 6y equals 1150. So x plus 6y is 1.5. 6 times 1.5 equals 9. So I have to subtract 9 on both sides. So x is basically 2.50. Yes, it should be 2.50. All right, so this is a cost for one slice of pizza. I need 2, so double the amount. That's $5. So $5 plus 450 is 5 plus 450 is 950. And there you go, we have the cost. It took some minutes because I was explaining. If I was not explaining you, I would have done it like in 3 minutes, or probably 2. Next question. It says a group of 202 people went on an overnight camping trip, taking 60 tents with them. Some of the tents held 2 person in each, and rest held 4 each. Assuming all the tents were filled to capacity and every person got to sleep in tent, exactly how many tents were 2-person tent? All right, interesting question. This is again system of equation, because you have two different totals and 2 different variables. Your variables are 2 people tent and 4 people tent. So 2 people tent I'm gonna call X, and 4 people tent I'm gonna call Y. I have total 60 tents. That means X plus Y is equals to 60. That's my total number of tents. Their capacity, how many people can fit in them. X carry 2 people, so it should be 2X, and Y carry 4 people, so it should be 4Y. And how many people went? That's 202. So that's your 2 system of equations. Now this one says how many of the tents were 2 people. So X is question mark. I have to find the X. If I have to find the X, if you get rid of Y, you will have the X right away. So I'm gonna again use elimination process, and I'm gonna eliminate Y by multiplying first equation with -4. Because it is a 4, I need a counter value, which has to be -4. So let's do that. X plus Y equals 60. Multiply this whole thing by -4. So this is -4X, -4Y, and this should be -240. All right, I have that equation. Now copy the second equation underneath, which is 2X plus 4Y equals 202. And just simplify, add or subtract. -4 plus 2 is -2X. 4Y minus 4Y is 0. That's why we multiply by the -4, so I can get rid of Y. I will have that step. 240 minus 202, it has to be -38. Then you divide it by 2, and X should be positive 19. So your value of X is positive 19. That's what I needed. Data analysis, statistics, and probability. So let's see what this one is saying. The dot plot identifies the number of kids in each of the 12 families in neighborhood. So you have 12 families in the neighborhood, and number of kids each family has. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This means 5 families have 0 kids. One, 2, 3 families has 1 kid or 1 child. 1 family has 2 kids. And 1, 2, and 3 families have 3 kids each. What fraction of the families have more than one kid? What fraction of the families have more than one kid? More than one kid means 2 or 3 kids, not 0 or 1. So out. You're dealing with these two only. So how many families, what fraction of the families? So how many families? I have 1 family and I have 3 families. So total 4 families. 4 families. And I need a fraction. So 4 families out of total families is 12. So 4 families out of 12 families have kids more than 1. So 4 out of 12 is what? 1/3. If you solve it in the calculator, it is 0.333 repeating, which is 1/3. Or what you can do is you can divide both of them in your head by 4, and that is also 1/3. Next question. A math class is made up of 8 ninth graders and 12 10th graders. The 9th graders averaged 91 on the midterm and 10th graders averaged 71. What was the average grade on the midterm exam for the entire class? Now remember one thing. I need the average, right? So average is you add the totals and you divide by how many things you have. That's how you find the average. Now you would be thinking I can add 91 and 71, then I can divide, but that's not how you do. You never calculate average from an average. Just remember, never calculate average from an average. That's not how it works because it is not balanced. So what you have to do is first I have to find out total points each class had. So total points accumulated by the 8 ninth graders were, you had 8 people scoring, the 9th graders scored 91. So 8 people scored 91. So 8 times 91 is, I need the calculator. Basic calculator, 728. So the 8th graders, the 9th graders scored this much. The 10th graders, how many 10th graders you have? 12. And they score 71 on average. So that would be 852. So this is my total score of both grade levels, 9th and 10th grade levels. So this is my 7th. So if I have to calculate the average, I need the total score over the total number of students. So average is total score over total students. Now add these two up. That should be your total. 8 plus 2 is 10. 5, 2, and 3 is 8. And 7 and 5 is 15. So 1580 is your total score of how many total students? You have 8 students. And then you have 12 students. That's total 20 students. So average is 79 points. This is your average because you need a total score over total number of students in order to find the average. And total score will be calculated using this simple multiplication. And you're allowed basic calculator that does multiplication as well as division. The bar graph shows the number of customers who purchased new cell phones at a store in 2018 through 2021 in hundreds. In hundred, that means these numbers represents hundreds. If the number of customers in 2022 was 1/5 increase, from the number of customer in 2021. So 1/5 increase from 2021. How many customers in 2022? So 1/5, it should be 1/5 plus 2021. How many customers in 2021? That's 200. Now I need 1/5 of 200. Off in math means multiplication. So 1/5 of 200 is 200 divided by 5, which is 40. 1/5 or 1/4? Oh, 1/4, I'm blind. 1/4. Ouch, sorry. It is 1/4 is 50. So 50 more, because it says 50, it's 1/4 increase. So 50 more. So in 2022, it should be 200 plus 50. That's 250. There you go. It's 250. It should be more. So you had to find 1/4 of 200 first. All right, next part is the algebra and the functions. Yep, you have done this one so many times, you have no idea. Last year, a coffee shop sold C cups of coffee. This year, the coffee shop sold 5 more than twice. So last year, it was C. And this year, I don't have room. I don't like this. So last year is C. This year, it is the coffee shop sold 5 more than. So 5 more than, twice the number of coffee shop, twice the number of, 5 more than twice the number of coffee shops sold last year. And coffee cups sold last year was C, so twice, 5 times 2C. If the next year the bakery plans on selling 3 times as many coffee shop cups this year, so this year is this part, so next year should be 3 times the, there you go, 3 times of this year. Next year should be 3 times of this year. That's what they're saying. How many coffee shops? Simple multiplication, distributed. 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 2 is 6C. So 15 plus 6. There you go. You just had to write out last year, this year, next year. It should have been fine. It's not that complicated. It's just basic reading. In the XY plane, whenever they're talking about XY plane, they mean coordinate grid, which you actually know what that is, XY plane. It's 2D, that's why it's called XY plane. The slope of a line is mx plus 2. There you go, slope is the m part. Here you go, m is the slope. Is greater than the slope of the line, y equals -2 plus 2x. So it should be greater than this one. Greater slope means m should be more than -2. More than -2 doesn't mean it can't be -4. It could be, because that still should be the higher slope, just in going in a negative direction. Which of the following must be true about m? Is m equals 2? No, because if m is equals to 2, that's not greater, that's actually not even same, that's a y-intercept. -2, that's same. And m should be greater than 0. M should be greater than -2, because that would be your slope. It can't be less than that. If n is the greater of the 2 consecutive integers, even integers, consecutive means next to each other, even means 2, 4, 6, 8, integers means whole numbers. Which of the following represents the sum of the 2 integers? If n is a greater, of two consecutive numbers, the diff of even numbers are separated by 2. It's the greater number, so the next one should have been actually less than. So suppose x is n is 10. This is integer number. The previous number, even number to this one would be 8, because you have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 as an example. So if n is 10, you went back at 8, that should be n minus 2. So this should be n plus n minus 2. N plus n is 2n minus 2. That's how you would do. So reading, writing your equation, and then just simplifying. That's what it was. All right, bell is about to ring in 3 minutes. Actually 2. Which of the following is not equivalent? You are going to multiply all of that. And then you're going to multiply all of these in order to see which one is not. So 3x multiplied by x is, well, I need room. 3x multiplied by x is 3x squared. 3x multiplied by minus 3 is negative 9x. This is plus 9x, and this is minus 27. That's 0. So 3x squared minus 27. Multiply all of these, it should be equals to this. If it's not, then that's your answer. 3x squared, this one is equal. I can totally see. This one is not equal because you are adding. But check the other two, you should be fine. This one says graphing calculator, but this is basically exponent. So I don't know what the graphing calculator would do. So there are so many ways you can do it. What first thing you can do is just distribute your power on all 3 of them. It's a negative 2. So x negative 2 times negative 4 is positive 4. Because negative is a plus. Then 4 times negative 2 is negative 8 over y times 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. So x stays above. This gonna go above as plus 2. So x4, y negative 6, it needs to go down. All right, last question. In the xy plane, what is the y-intercept of the graph of the equation? Multiply all of that, and then you will be able to see the y-intercept is where x is 0. If you use that fact, actually it would be easier. At y-intercept, the value of the x is 0. So I'm going to plug in the x as 0. This is your common math facts. So 4 is going to stay on the side. This is 0 minus 0.5. I'm just going to use that. So negative 0.25. So it's negative 0.25 or 1/4. And then 0 minus 2 is negative 2. 4 multiplied by negative 0.25 is negative 1. Multiplied by negative 2 is positive 2. So y-intercept should be positive 2. This would be actually easier in the faster method to do this question. All right, looks like I'm done with the notes. You have some practice over here to do. Go ahead, good luck.